Who wrote Deepwater? Yes, writer is William O. Douglas. Where was William Douglas born? Maine, Minnesota. What was Douglas' profession? Judge or justice? How many years did Douglas serve as a justice? For 36 years. Which president was Douglas close to? Franklin D. Roosevelt is the right answer. Childhood and fear of water. Where did Douglas first feel afraid of water? It happened at a beach in California. Who was with him at the beach? His father. What knocked him down at the beach? A wave. Which river was considered treacherous by his mother? It was Yakima River. Why did Douglas' mother not allow him in Yakima River? Because it was treacherous and had drowning cases usually reported. YMCA pool incident. Where did Douglas decide to learn swimming? YMCA pool in Yakima. How deep was the shallow end of the YMCA pool? It was 2 to 3 feet. How deep was the deep end of the YMCA pool? It was 9 feet deep. What did Douglas use when he started swimming practice? Water wings. Who pushed Douglas into the pool? A bruiser boy about 18 years of age. What was the age of the boy who pushed Douglas? 18 years. In which positions did Douglas fall into the pool? Sitting positions. How many times did Douglas sink before losing consciousness? Thrice. What expressions did Douglas use for the moment of unconsciousness? The curtain of life fell. Who saved Douglas from drowning? Other boys near the pool saved him at pool. Effect of the incident. What did Douglas feel after reaching home? He felt weak and trembling. What happened when he lay on his bed after the incident? He cried. What did Douglas avoid after the pool incident? Water activities. What feeling haunted Douglas for years? It was a fear of water that haunted him wherever he tried to get in the water. It returned. What was ruined by his fear of water? Fishing and boating trips were ruined by fear of water. When did Douglas decide to take swimming lessons? In October. Who trained Douglas in swimming? A swimming instructor. What device did the instructor use for training? A belt and rope pulley system. How many days per week did Douglas practice swimming? 5 days in a week. How long did he practice each day? 1 hour. Each day he used to do practice. How long did it take before his panic started to reduce? 3 months. What breathing exercise did Douglas learn? Exhaling underwater and inhaling air. Which stroke did Douglas first practice after full training? Crow stroke. When did the instructor declare Douglas a complete swimmer? In April. Was Douglas satisfied after the instructor's training? No, he still doubted himself. Final victory over fear. Where did Douglas first test himself after training? Lake Wentworth. From where to where did he swim at Lake Wentworth? Triggs Island to Stamp Act Island. How far was his swim at Lake Wentworth? 2 miles. What happened when Douglas saw bottomless water in the lake? He felt miniature terror. How did Douglas overcome the returning terror? He laughed and challenged it. Where did Douglas go for his final test? Warm Lake near Maid, Galicia. What did Douglas do at Warm Lake? Dived and swam across the pack. How did Douglas feel after conquering fear, finally released and joyful? What did Gilbert Peak do when Douglas shouted with joy? It echoed his voice. What did Douglas realize about death? Death is peaceful. Theme and message. According to Douglas, what is more fearful than death? It's a fear of death. What grew stronger in Douglas after his experience? Will to live. What type of essay is Deepwater? Autobiographical. What is the central theme of Deepwater? Conquest of fear through determination is the theme of Deepwater. Which famous quote of Roosevelt is linked with the story? All we have to fear is fear itself.